Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the first 2020 rendition of the Anthony Around Town show. I'm your host, Anthony Crosby. In case you missed it last year, this is the weekly show where you just hop online as a community and talk about some awesome things as an Elko, Spring Creek, Carlin, all that sort of good stuff community. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Haven't been in front of the camera like this since December. Actually, the end of November, because we took the whole month of December off just to prep a lot of really sweet stuff here at Anthony Around Town. And I'm kind of, barely, kind of bearing the lead right now, because one of the sweet things that we were prepping is where the show is streaming from right now. That's right, we ditched the dark blue curtains and the setup that we had last year and replaced it with the brand new Anthony Around Town 2020 studio space. You can check it out. It's pretty nice. It's a lot more spacious. I have a little bit more elbow room, especially when I get cameraman Matthew back here or some other guests. When we won't be like right on top of each other. No, we have a nice, sweet spot to hang out, to talk, to make some content, and to do all that sort of good stuff. So before we talk a little bit more about all the things we need to get into tonight, I just want to, just recognize this new studio space. This is where we're going to be streaming live from every Monday here on our Facebook page at 8 o'clock. And we have to thank our good friends at NV Off-Road for this studio space. We were able to just form a relationship with the owners and the people here over the last several months. And long story short, I just went to them and was like, hey, you guys have an extra space inside of your building where you guys have your whole operation. Do you think I could throw up some lights and some cameras and some signs and turn it into a content studio? And Justin, he's the owner, super cool guy. He's basically just like, yeah, sure, man. It's all good. So thanks to him and thanks to everybody here at NV Off-Road for the fact that we get to stream and make stuff out of this little area right now. And the thing that you can do to show your appreciation, especially you've been following Anthony Around Town for a little bit, the thing you can do to show your appreciation to Justin and NV Off-Road for allowing us to come in here and do some work is just by supporting them, by giving them your business. If you're not sure what type of business NV Off-Road is in, basically they are in the power sports maintenance and repair and upkeep business. So if you have a snowmobile, if you have an ATV, if you have any type of toy that you like to take out in the hills or on the dunes and all that sort of good stuff on the weekends, and that's kind of your baby, but you don't want to spend the time that you could be out riding, having a good time doing repairs and upkeep and maintenance and all that sort of stuff, the lame stuff, then just head over down to NV Off-Road and let them take care of you. Their address, just in case you're wondering, is 1430 Stitzel Road, Suite A. That's 1430 Stitzel Road, Suite A. That's where we currently are right now. So again, one more thanks to our friends NV Off-Road for our new studio area. Just a lot of cool things we spent all of December working on. That's why we weren't coming live throughout the month of December. That's why we didn't produce a whole lot of content. We did a couple small videos here and there for some organizations and some fundraisers here in town. But as far as our usual stuff, our blogs, our regular videos, and some other stuff we'll talk a little bit later, we kind of hit the pause button so we can get all of this stuff ready for you in this brand new year. So in just a minute, we're going to talk about some of that new stuff. We're going to talk about what we do here at Anthony Around Town, just in case some of you are new, just checking things out. We'll get into all that in just a second. But the thing I like to do before anything else, before we get too crazy with talking, is just check in and see how you guys have been. Just want to slow down and just see how my friends out there have just been so far. What's it, day 6? I think day 6 into the brand new year. So how's it been? How's your holiday season? How was your Christmas? How was your Kwanzaa? How was your winter solstice, your Hanukkah, all that good stuff? Did you get what you wanted? Did you get that nice pair of socks? Did you get that trip to Jamaica that you were hoping for? Did you get that new video game system? It doesn't matter. Hopefully, whatever it is that you received throughout the holiday season was just a heart full of love, heart full of joy, some good times, quality time spent with family and all that sort of good stuff. And hopefully you rang in the new year and had a good time partying and doing that. Or, I mean, maybe you were like me. I didn't go and get too crazy New Year's. I actually stayed home, hung out with my baby girls. We just watched some kids messing around with toys on YouTube. We did that and put them to bed. Then I had some Anthony Around Town work to do. What was I doing that night? I was editing. I was editing the video that we're actually going to be talking about in just a second. I had to get that finished and ready for you guys by that Wednesday because New Year's was on a Tuesday, I believe. So I did that, and I was in bed by 10:30. Nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. My neighbors, they were going pretty crazy because I went to bed at 10:30 and woke up like around 12:30 to some fireworks going on. So, I just kind of lived through them because they were having a good time outside. So that was me. That was, kind of my month. Just a lot of work, a lot of prep, a lot of family, a lot of celebration. So hopefully that was the case for you. Hopefully you got to exhale a little bit towards the end of the month at some point. And you're just ready to head into this new year strong and reaching your goals and doing all the cool stuff that you have in store for 2020. One big reason, and we'll talk more about this in just a second, but a big reason why I get in front of the camera or whoever's joining me gets in front of the camera every single week and does this live on Facebook is so that we can have these type of conversations. We can talk to each other. We can ask questions. We can share opinions. We can share what's going on in our lives. I don't want all the stuff that we do here, Anthony Around Town, just be me or just some random person sitting in front of a camera or behind a blog and just talking at you. Sometimes it's good to have our friends out there in the Elko area hop online and be a part of the conversation. So that's why we do this live every single week, is so I don't just throw hypothetical questions out there. I actually throw real questions that you can get on your keyboard and you can answer, and we can converse. Like I see right now in my peripherals, we have a couple of you right now looking to chat, and I'm going to do a lean and dab cough real quick. I'm going to pause my mic. I got a cough pretty bad. If you've been watching since November, I've had this cough since November, and it's still not gone. So I'm going to lean and dab cough really quick. Here we go. Okay, we should be good. Now, let's see who's online. We have Nay, our editor of written content. She says, hi, welcome back. Nay, you are so faithful because you are in Texas right now, and I imagine it's not 8 o'clock. It's probably like 11 o'clock in Texas. The fact that you're chatting with us in the future, that just shows your awesomeness. We have Elaine Castle, one of our regulars. She says, early New Year's Eve, was out listening to Clint and Illa, and then got home to ring in the new year. So Clint and Illa, if I'm reading her name right, they are like they're performers in town, obviously, but I think Clint is like a sweet Elvis impersonation. And those are the couple I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure that's them, and we're going to be talking to them here at Anthony Around Town soon. So it's cool that you got to hang out with them, Elaine. Nay says, I was up until 1 a.m. With scared cats and dogs. Oh, see, that would, if I had a dog at my house, they definitely would have been going crazy around 12:30 because my neighbors were making some noise. So I could see where you're coming from, Nay. And then Elaine says one more time, they brought their pups in as soon as they got home. So, maybe a lot of people were just having a good time throughout their neighborhoods on New Year's. But, I mean, that's what New Year's is for, especially a big one like this. This is a new decade, 2020, kind of a big deal. So, I mean, I get it. But anyways, Nay and Elaine just kind of led the example right there. If you feel like you just want to be a part of this conversation at any time, especially, so tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about Anthony Around Town stuff and all that, so maybe you might not have a whole lot to contribute tonight, and if you do, that's cool. If not, that's fine. But in the future, as we talk about people in our community and events in our communities and different things going on in our community, if you want to add and be a part of that conversations, please just jump in and voice your opinions and your comments and all that stuff away as much as you want. So that is what we're all about. All right. So what we're going to do tonight, we're just kind of set the stage for this new year tonight. Normally on these live stream shows, what we do is we look back a week at some of the stuff we published on Anthony Around Town, whether it be a video or a blog and all that sort of good stuff. And we just kind of take those conversations we had with people and we just expand on them here on the live chat, because even if I sit down and talk with somebody like I did today, I had an interview with somebody in our community today. That article will be coming out later this week. We chatted for a good while, probably like a good, maybe like an hour of conversation. But when I turn that into a blog, it's not going to be a full hour's worth of words you're going to read. I'm going to have to cut stuff out and condense it and give it some focus. But the point of this live chat is for us to sit and maybe talk about some themes and some topics and some points of interest that came out of those conversations and came out of the stuff that we're doing around town that we can just talk about together. So that's kind of the big picture of this Anthony Around Town show going forward. But like I said, tonight it's the first show, so we're just going to take it easy. We're just going to talk about what we do around here and kind of dig into some stuff that way. But before we get into that, we just have to pause and we have to give our sponsors some love. That's right. All this stuff that you see here, it didn't just happen. It didn't just magically appear by the wave of my pen. I mean, that would have been nice. Definitely would have been a lot cheaper. But that's just not how life works. And so because life takes help and life takes money and life takes good relationships for things to grow and cultivate, I just had to really reach out and look through the community and see which businesses and organizations and specific strategic partners could I bring into the fold to help me and cameraman Matthew and Nay, our editor, and everybody else involved with this whole thing. Who can we bring in to help make all of this possible? And we are blessed enough to have a great group of sponsors who were willing to take a chance on us, to walk alongside of us, and to be a part of this amazing team. So we already talked about Envy Off-Road. They're part of this whole sponsorship team because they help make this physical space possible. Behind me, you'll see a beautiful glass piece right there. It's not 100% done yet. We're still waiting on some graphics to put on it, but that was provided by our friends over at B3 Glass. They actually sponsor our Friday blogs, and those blogs specifically let us go around town and talk to local small business owners and small business managers and let us highlight small business in our community. So that's sponsored by B3 Glass. So eventually I'll move out of the way when we have some of their graphics up here, and we'll give them some love that way. But over here to my left, I don't know if this might be on your right, you'll see this little banner right here. And that banner is made up of the 4 main businesses and organizations that make up Anthony Around Town's sponsorship team. They are the Hilton Garden Inn, Iron Horse RV Resorts, Elgo's Relay for Life, and the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn. So every week you're going to hear us talk a lot about them because we want to give them as much We'll give them as much love as possible because without them, all this wouldn't be possible. So let's talk really quick about one of those sponsors in particular, the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn. I want you guys to see this really quick. Let me bring it up. You see that? They're doing something pretty darn cool this month of January until January 31st, actually. They are having a breakfast deal where you get all you can eat, hot, cook-to-order breakfast for, what's that say, $11.99? No, it's not $11.99. We're talking $10.99, not $10.99. $8.99. Come on, Anthony. $8.99. That's a good deal for all you can eat, hot, cooked to order breakfast, right? That would be a good deal, but they're not even talking $8.99. For $7.99, you can head over to the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn and get yourself an all you can eat, hot, cooked to order breakfast. Dang, that's a good deal. You know, I was just thinking about breakfast today because I'll admit I haven't always been the best at giving myself a healthy, nutritious breakfast. You know, usually you wake up, you get the kids dressed, you get them out to school, you have work to do, you have a meeting here, you got an errand there. So by the time you realize it, for me at least, it's already lunchtime. So like breakfast, schmeckfish. We don't have time for that. But, you know, again, that's probably not the healthiest attitude to have in the world. As they say, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So to make myself feel a little better, normally what I'll do is grab like a granola bar or something like that. But, that's probably not even the healthiest thing in the world to do. So I need to get better at consuming breakfast, at letting me get those nutrients and those that all that protein, all that nutrition talk, mumbo jumbo, for me to really charge into my day right. And so I think this is going to be a good reminder in this new year to make breakfast a priority. So if you're like me, you need to get better at eating breakfast, then let's just start by heading over to the Hilton Garden Inn's restaurant, the Garden Grill and Bar, and getting ourselves a $7.99 hot cooked to order all you can eat breakfast. Again, that's going on until January 31st, and their breakfast hours are 6 to 11 a.m. So super thankful for our sponsors once again. Looks like, Nay says we love our sponsors. We do love our sponsors here. Elaine says that looks yummy. I agree. I think my favorite, bacon. I was going to try to think of what my favorite breakfast item is, but it's bacon. I mean, come on, bacon's bacon. And Nay says now she's hungry. Me too. I'm super, super hungry. But we got stuff to talk about. We can't be talking about bacon all night. We have to get into the meat of this live stream. So here's what we're going to do for the rest of the time. We're going to look back. Last Wednesday, like I said, I was editing this video all the way up until Tuesday night, New Year's Eve of last week. But last Wednesday, I put out a video kind of just breaking down Anthony around town. I tried to keep it under 20 minutes. It ended up being 25, sorry. But breaking down Anthony around town for the people who may have never heard of it before and want to know what we're all about. For the people who have heard of it, have heard of the name, have seen some of the stuff around, but just really, I don't really get it. And for the people who've been around, like Elaine, who's commented on this live stream a couple of times already, who's been with us since the very beginning, to give them, a refresher or, a refresher is a good word. I'm giving them a refresher into what we do here at AAT. So I put this video out, and we answered 4 big questions in the video. What's Anthony around town? What kind of content do we exactly create? How do we make money doing this? Talking about our sponsors. And then how are we particularly involved in the city besides just making stuff? And so we put that video out, and I'll just say, just go check it out. A lot of you already have, especially here on Facebook. Like over, a couple thousand of you have already watched that video, so thank you. I hope that was informative and helpful. And but if you haven't checked it out already, or you just kind of skimmed through it and didn't actually watch and get the detail of it, just go check that out. It's here on our Facebook page, or it's on our YouTube channel, and just watch it through. Again, I'm sorry for the length. 25 minutes, I know it can be daunting, but I really just wanted to break down the best that I could this whole Anthony around town thing. And I'm not going to get into specifics of the video here on this live stream because that would be redundant. You could just go watch it. But I do want to talk about one thing. I want to talk about this concept of digital media in general, because really that's what we do here. We create digital media content. So there's different types of media out there. Obviously, there's newspapers, there's radio stations. That's type of audio media. There's magazines. There's TV. There's lots of different types of media out there. But when I talk about digital media, what I really talk about is just things that really anybody can independently go and do and create right now. And I'm not talking about to the capacity where somebody could just have the tools to make a show like this happen with the space and cameras and tech and all that. I'm not necessarily talking about that to that level. But if somebody wanted to just pick up their iPhone or their phone and point it at their face and record a video of them talking about their day, they essentially just made digital media. They made a vlog, or they made a video that they can publish on YouTube. If somebody has some thoughts that they want to share, they can hop online and they could go to a free web hosting site or free blog hosting site, and they can write their thoughts on there and they could share it with people. They just created digital media. They just made a blog and so on and so on. And Facebook Live even. Anybody could hop on Facebook Live and just share their thoughts and stuff like that. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about digital media. Media that you can do right now to get your voice out to your neighbors right now. And this is something that's just always been super, super important to me, and why I wanted to create this whole Anthony Around Town thing, to really emphasize that aspect of communication in this community, because I'm just a big believer that everybody, this is kind of like, the heart of Anthony Around Town, but that everybody has a story, right? And everybody has a voice, and everybody's voice and everybody's story is going to be different from their neighbor. But that's a good thing. That's actually how a community, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, I could be wrong, you can call me out on it, but in my opinion, that is how a community continues to grow and thrive and seek health and be alive, when we have a collection of people with unique perspectives and unique voices and unique backgrounds and stories and experiences coming together and taking their experiences, their backgrounds, all that sort of good stuff, and sharing it with one another, allowing it to grow with one another. I think there's just something special about that. So, doing this, I've had people ask me before, like, Anthony, if you're saying right now, you're putting this out there right now, like I am right now, literally, that anybody could essentially do this, right? Like, anybody could get a camera and do what you do. So aren't you afraid that, somebody's just going to start their own thing and you're going to have all this competition and then you're just going to be obsolete? And my answer to that is no, honestly. That doesn't scare me or worry me. Like, number one, I just, don't stress about that stuff. But number two, let's just say you decided to do something like this. You decided to get in front of a camera and talk about your life, or talk about your perspective, or talk about your story. Even though we're technically doing the same thing, our approach to that and the results that are going to come out of that are going to be different, because you're different from me and I'm different for you. So the things people are going to hear from me, they're going to be different that they hear from you. And again, I'm going to say this, I said this already, I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing when more than one people, or more than a small group of people, share their voice and share their stories and share their hearts and share their perspectives and share their lives. Because I think we as humans, we internalize all that, and that helps us grow, and that helps us think beyond just our own realities of stuff sometimes. And you guys get what I'm saying. So I just think it's just very important and very essential, and that's why I work so hard to do this here in Elko. And I'm not the only one. I know there's other people with podcasts, there's other people with blogs, other people who do videos and stuff like that, and that's good, that's awesome. I celebrate those people. But I just really wanted to kind of take a big step forward in this whole digital media thing, and do it to, number one, share a lot of these stories and do a lot of this stuff and inform a lot of people and all the stuff I said in the video, but hopefully to inspire some of you out there to see that, hey, if this schmo Anthony Crosby from nowhere, who's a nobody, could do this and find success doing this, then maybe I can too. Maybe people do want to hear what I have to say. Maybe my story does matter. Maybe my voice does matter. And I'm telling you right now, it does. So, anyways, I just think that it's important, because I think that community is important. And that's really what I strive to make the heart of this whole Anthony Around Town thing, is this idea of community. Because I think I've talked about this before on one of the live streams last year. One of the big temptations of being in this space and being in digital media is, especially when you have, businesses and stuff like that involved, and there's money being transacted and all that. One of the big temptations is to just focus on whatever is going to get the views, right? Whatever's going to get the clicks, whatever's going to just get the numbers, right? Numbers. As long as it looks good on a spreadsheet, you could take it, you could sell it. That's what it's all about. So, maybe this person over here, I could go interview and make a blog about. But, Anthony, you really could go and talk to this person over here, and this person's a little bit more popular, and this person is a little bit more sexy, and this person's this and that. So if you talk to this person over this person who's not really doing that much, then you're going to get more views, you're going to get more clicks, you're going to get more of this and this and this. And I'm not going to lie, that temptation, and I've talked about this before, is there sometimes. it's there. That's just, part of being in this space at a professional level. But this is part of, why I do this live show in particular. But at the heart of it, I don't want to be in the business of clickbaiting people into stuff. I don't want to be in the business of just filling up a spreadsheet of all these numbers. I don't want to be in the business of just only caring about the views. I want to be in the business of cultivating community. That's kind of my driving force here, is cultivating community in a couple ways. Cultivating the community that we live in, so Elko, Carlin, Spring Creek, and the surrounding areas, by sharing the stories of our neighbors, by informing people of what's going on, by being in the culture of this area, of this city, of this community, and making that known to the people online. That's one big way. But the other way is just fostering a community here at Anthony Around Town of people who generally just love this town and learning about this town and want to be invested in this town, in this community, and have a common place where we can all just get together and we can just celebrate things in our area, and we could just engage in the positivity of being an Elko resident. Because I know there's things about living here that's not always the easiest, not always the most fun, and especially online, it can be really tempting to just focus on all the negative stuff, right? Like, I just saw a post from a business owner this morning who just, we could tell this person was just heartbroken because somebody said something pretty detrimental about their business and experience they had at their business. And so they had to get online and they had to apologize. And thankfully, because our community is awesome, people in the comment section of that post were very encouraging and uplifting and supportive and forgiving and all that. And that's good. But that's just, the nature, especially in a smaller town like Elko. It's easier for the negative stuff to ring louder than all the positive stuff, right? Like, you hear people say, I just can't wait to get out of Elko. Elko's just, a black hole, and so on and so forth. But, I think there are a lot of positive things, though, about living here, and a lot of good things about living here, and a lot of cool people who live here who make this a wonderful place to work, to play, to raise a family, and all that sort of good stuff. And so I just I want us, as people who have a desire to focus on the positive stuff of living here, have a place where we can come together and we can share those experiences. Obviously, like, I'm big into media and kind of keeping up on the trends and what's going on in the media world on a bigger level, outside of Elko, outside of Anthony Around Town. Because Anthony Around Town's small. Anthony Around Town's nothing. Sometimes I talk about it like this is big, super gigantic thing. It's not. It's a little thing that I'm doing, on my Mac. But there's bigger media businesses and organizations out there, and I was reading about one that focuses on like entertainment in particular. And there's this big entertainment media business based out of LA. And they recently just let go a large part of their staff who produced shows that did a really good job of fostering community in the entertainment space. So these shows that this media business produced, they would have people discuss, different movies and different TV shows. And it was just really a lot of discussion and a lot of personal insight. But the higher ups at this media business noticed that they weren't getting the most views as compared to some other trendy type shows, some other gimmicky type shows that they were doing. So they decided to cancel those shows and let those people go. And ultimately, it was a business decision, but a lot of people are calling this the end of that media business, because what they're doing, they're not just canceling shows, they're canceling the products that fostered community and fostered brand loyalty at that media business. And so now that their business is nothing but a bunch of trending, clickbaity, one and done type stuff, we'll see, they might not last long. They might, but they might not last long, because they've kind of taken the community that they built and kind of shoot everybody away. And so I just say all that, and thank you for hanging in there with me as I kind of broke all that down. I say all that just to say that's what we're about here, Anthony Around Town. We're about engaging the culture of Elko, creating some cool content from it, whether it be a blog, a live stream show like this, doing this every week, a video like we did last week, or our new podcast we have coming out that we'll talk about in just a second. Creating cool content from that, and then by using that content to cultivate the community, to highlight some good things in the community, and hopefully foster a sense of community between all of us, between us as neighbors. So if you're wondering what we're all about, that'd probably be it. And a bunch of other stuff I said in the video, so just go watch the video. All right, now, before we get into anything else, I'm just going to check and make sure. Nay says, if you focus on the positive stuff, you will see more of it. I agree. That's why I try not to focus a lot on the negative stuff, because I truly believe that there are a lot of positive things here in Elko. Like I said, sometimes they just kind of get overshadowed by the negative things that people want to highlight sometimes. And, that's, their right to do. They have the right to voice their thoughts and opinions on all those negative stuff. But I just choose to talk about the positive because why not? So there's that. All right, we're going to give some more love to our sponsors, the businesses and organizations who make all of this possible. We have the Hilton Garden Inn, the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn. We're going to talk about that $7.99 breakfast. Don't forget about that. We have Elko's Relay for Life, and then we have Iron Horse RV Resort. And then, speaking of Iron Horse, I want to show you guys this. This is kind of cool. Iron Horse RV Resort is having their winter move-in promotion going on right now. What's that all about? Well, let's just read the flyer together. Their winter move-in promotion says if you commit to the first 3 full months, you'll receive $200 off your 4th month for both RV spaces and cottages. So let me pause right there. So that's a good deal. You see the numbers there. But if you haven't been down to the Iron Horse's little, I call it an oasis. The little oasis they have down at the bottom of the hill right before the Hilton Garden Inn. You should just go check it out because it's beautiful. If you're into photography, I just love driving down that hill of all seasons. Like wintertime, I was just there last week during the winter. The snow makes it look so beautiful because with the trees and the RVs, and it's so quiet down there. It's just a nice little spot. In the summertime, it's beautiful because obviously it's all green and flourishing. So it's beautiful. So they have RV spaces there, obviously, Iron Horse RV Resort, but they also have cottages. And these cottages are available for really anybody to rent whenever you want. I shot a video or two in there before. They're really nice. They're really nice cottages. I might end up shooting another video there in the near future. But if you're looking for a very well-kept place to stay in town, that's, might be different from traditional other overnight stay locations here in our community, I highly suggest you go check out their cottages. But speaking of their promotion, they have stay options nightly, weekly, monthly. Their RV site, standard, deluxe, premium, depends on the size of your rig. You're talking about amenities, what kind of services they offer. They have water, they have sewer, they have cable, and you got to have that Wi-Fi so you can watch your Anthony Around Town content. And they also have access to the Hilton Garden Inn and their amenities. So what you do, you park at the Iron Horse, you use their free Wi-Fi to watch an Anthony Around Town video. This live stream, actually, you're watching this live stream. You hear me talking about the Hilton $70.99 all-you-can-eat breakfast promotion. You hear me talking about bacon. You start thinking about bacon. You start thinking about it sizzling on the pan and the grease popping, pop, 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 pop here and there. And you just think about, oh, man, if I just picked up that bacon and I just put it in my mouth, I could feel the crunch and I could feel it just, oh, man, I got to stop. I'm making myself too hungry. So what you do is you drive up just over the hill to the Hilton Garden Inn and you get yourself that $7.99 breakfast. That all rolls into one. The cottages, as I said, they're really nice. They're one-bedroom cottages with a little loft. Cameraman Matthew really loves talking about that loft for some reason. He's in love with that. So, winter move-in promotion. Commit to the first 3 full months, and you will receive $200 off your 4th month. That's the Iron Horse RV Resorts. All right, let's go back to the comment section really quick. Elaine says, so true, always look for the positive. That's right. That's what we're going to keep doing, Elaine. We're always going to look for the positive. So I think we should just keep doing that. Let's just keep looking for the positive. What's something positive we could take a look at? I know something positive. It's the AnthonyAroundTown.com website. That's probably one of the most positive things I could think of right now. So what I want to do, two things. I want to show you guys some stuff on the Anthony Around Town website, because we talked about some of these links on the site before, but I want to break each one of them down. So again, just in case you are new, you'll be able to head there. You'll be able to know what's going on with each one of those links. You'll be able to engage those appropriately. And then at the very end, after I'm done showing you the site a little bit, we're going to talk about the brand new, so excited, the brand new Anthony Around Town podcast coming out this Thursday, 7 p.m. It's going to be awesome. But before we do that, let's check out the Anthony Around Town website real quick. So this is the site, just in case you've never been here before. That's our beautiful logo. You scroll down, you're going to see our links to our social media. So you'll see we're obviously on Facebook, where we're streaming right now. We're on Instagram. If you're an Instagrammer and you want to check out some of our stuff, it's there. To search Anthony Around Town. You'll see pictures and other goodies like that you won't be able to see anywhere else. Then obviously we're on YouTube. We talked about that. Oh, look at that handsome gentleman. Look at that guy. Oh, what a nerd. That's just me kicking off the new year with our 2020 video, so you can see the link to that video there. And then we got my good friend Richard Bachman. We ended 2019 with his blog, the Richard Bachman Blog of Thankfulness. He's a good guy. Just go read his blog. But anyways, we're going to go back to the top, and we're going to look at the links at the top. So at the top left, you're going to see it says our partners, stay connected, the Around Town bulletin board, about Anthony Around Town, and contact. So our partners, that is just where we highlight our sponsors. So we give them some love there, so you can go learn more about them there. Okay, this is really what I really want to get into. Stay connected. Stay connected is how you can stay up to date on all the content that comes out from Anthony Around Town, because especially as we get rolling, we got the blogs, we got the podcasts, the live streams and videos and all that stuff. It could be a lot. And sometimes with how algorithms work and a lot of stuff like that, especially on Facebook, there might be a time when you miss it because Facebook doesn't put it in front of you. But you want to stay up on all that we are doing here at AAT. So what you could do is you just head over to where it says stay connected, and you just put in your name and you put in your email, and what that's going to do is that's going to add you to our weekly email newsletter. I just sent one of these out this morning. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't even have any ads or anything like that. It just says thank you for being a part of this newsletter, and then it has links specifically to all the new content that came out the week prior. So this morning's email, the people who got it, they got a direct link to the 2020 kickoff video, so they could just click it and watch it just in case they missed it. So that just might be something you might want to consider. Takes 2 seconds. There's that. The next thing, this is brand new, so I want to break this down. This is the Anthony Around Town, not Anthony, it's just the Around Town bulletin board. So what we're going to start doing is we're just going to start having community events and gatherings and goings-ons highlighted here on the Anthony Around Town website for free. So if you have a fundraiser coming up and you have a link to the event, you send it to me, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com, and I'll put it up on here. So people visit the website, they'll click on that, they'll know about your event. If you're having a gathering, or if you're having a party or something like that, where you just trying to spread the word to the public about something going on in the community, just send it to me. Again, it's free. To say, hey, Anthony, I'm having this fundraiser at the park this Saturday from 1 to 4. Here's a link to the Facebook event, or here's a flyer about it. Could you put it on your site? I'll say, okie dokie, friend, no big deal. So we're going to start utilizing that. So if you have anything for January, February, just send it over. I'll get it up there. About Anthony Around Town, that's just where you can learn a little bit about who we are, what we do, and some information about Team AAT. And then contact, that's just one form of, just one way I made rather for you to contact me if you need me. Let's just say you want to recommend somebody for a blog. You want to maybe learn about how you can contribute to the Anthony Around Town bulletin board. You want to ask a question. You want to be in a video yourself. Whatever, you just contact me through there. But obviously, probably the easiest way is just through our email, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. But if you can't remember that address, just hit contact. So that's the site a little bit. I wanted to kind of show off main site, because as you can see, this 2020 videos here, last year we only put our blogs on this main site. This year we're going to have pretty much every content that we make is going to be up on our main site. So links to our videos, links to our podcast, links to our blogs. I'm going to try getting this live stream that we're doing right now linked up on the site. So it's just all in one tight, neat place. And then we'll do special stuff on our specific social medias like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all that sort of good stuff. So there is that. So that's our main site. Now, something I'm super excited about for this Thursday is that we are launching a brand new type of content here at Anthony Around Town. So we started Anthony Around Town off with the blogs. That was content number 1. And then what was next? It was the videos. Actually, it's probably the live stream, honestly, because we did videos before, but they were bad. I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty bad. We shot them on my phone, and I didn't know how to edit. They were bad. So I'm going to say the live stream was a type of media content number 2. About this time last year, we started the Anthony Around Town live stream show, and that also was pretty bad. You just learn as you go, quality-wise and all that sort of good stuff. And then in the summer, we really got into the third type of content we do here, which is video content. So I spent a long time learning and teaching myself and practicing editing videos, and got better equipment and all that sort of good stuff. And so the quality of that's just gotten a lot better. But part of why we took December off was I used a lot of that month to teach myself a new form of media, which is the audio side of media, aka the podcast. So I just was able just to learn a lot and get some more equipment here, and check out hosting sites and do all that sort of good stuff, so we could officially, with good quality, launch the Anthony Around Town podcast this Thursday. It's probably going to hit around 7 o'clock. That's when I have it scheduled on our hosting site. But I'm very excited about it, because for me to justify doing 4 different types of media, I had to really think outside of the box, right? Because I didn't just want every type of media to be the same. Like the blogs are just like the videos, and the videos is just like because that would get boring. So what I did is I said, okay, here's what's going to happen. The blogs that you read Wednesdays, and then Small Business Fridays on Fridays, that's going to be just the more standard sit-down interview, let's get to know this person traditional style. So that's the blogs. The live stream, again, we're all about discussion. We're all about building community. That's the point of the live stream, is for us to build community and talk about some stuff in our community. The videos, that's for us really to have some fun. So we do a lot of fun stuff with our videos, a lot of goofy stuff, like next Thursday, so not this Thursday, but next Thursday, we have a new video coming out, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. This might be a controversial video we're going to publish. Might cause a Elko, Spring Creek, Carlin civil war. We'll see. But that's going to be next Thursday. So that's the point of the videos. We'll do fun stuff. We'll do random stuff like that. But the podcast, the point of that is just to get to know somebody in our community from a unique perspective. So what we do is we sit down in this studio with somebody in our community, and we just get to know them, like, hey, tell me what you do. What do you do in the community? And then I just throw them curveball, random questions, and really just get to know them that way, outside of the box questions they may have never been asked before. Maybe they have, but they just share their thoughts on it, and we get to learn about them in a new way. So the tagline of the podcast is the Anthony Around Town podcast, out there questions with local people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play for you the trailer for this Thursday podcast, so you can maybe have a little anticipation. So check it out. We have a special guest with us kicking off this podcast for the very first time. It is, of course, Miss Alicia Chavez from Academy Mortgage.
I'm super thankful to be here, and your studio is really fun to be in. I am a mortgage lender for Academy. And ultimately what I do is I originate home loans for the community. And I have really had a vision of what kind of life I want, what kind of life I want to bring to my sons. Yeah. And I knew that this was the way to do it. And I knew it because in the end I really love the community. And the community has really loved working with me, closing their home loans.
Right. But you help people get into their dream homes. How would you describe your ultimate dream house? What would it look like, and where in the world would it be?
I am so happy you asked me this question.
Oh, really? Okay.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, let's go. Would you rather have to read aloud every word you read from now on, or sing aloud everything that you say? So instead of talking, you have to sing.
Oh, I would sing.
So you'd rather sing?
Yeah.
Are you have a good singing voice?
No. But my best friend from college and I, we sing everything, because when we miss each other, we gotta sing, because that's what we do.
That was good. You said you didn't have a good singing voice. You just lied on this podcast.
Yeah. Have patience, don't be in such a hurry. Remember that God has patience too. Think of all the other times when others had to wait on you.
That was a banger. That was hot. So yeah, that is a little peek at the new Anthony Around Town podcast coming out this Thursday. Really, anywhere you get your regular podcast, your other podcasts, so Apple, Spotify, all that sort of good stuff. Or you can find all of our podcasts going forward on our Anchor page. Just search Anthony Around Town through the Anchor website. So we're very excited about that. All right, guys, we're going to get ready to wrap up this first 2020 rendition of the Anthony Around Town show. Before we do that, let's give some more love to our sponsors. You see their logos there. We have Iron Horse RV Resort. Don't forget they have that winter promotion going on right now. So if you're looking for a sweet place to stay, check out their cottages. If you have an RV or big rig or family coming into town, keep that name in mind. We have the Hilton Garden Inn, beautiful hotel just right up the hill on Idaho Street. Elko's Relay for Life. We'll talk a lot more about them as the year goes on. And then the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn. Don't forget, $7.99, hot, delicious, full of bacon, all-you-can-eat breakfast from 6 to 11 at the Garden Grill and Bar, and that goes until January 31st. So new content-wise, here's what you could be on the look for as this week goes on. Wednesday, we're going to have a new blog coming out on just somebody pretty influential, let's just say that, in our community. So that'll be coming out on Wednesday. Thursday, I've already kind of talked about it. We have the podcast coming out, so be on the lookout for that Thursday. Friday, Small Business Friday feature of the week, brought to you by our friends at B3 Glass. And this week, with our small business feature, we're getting a little sexy. Oh, yeah. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming out Friday night. You want to keep up. If you want to keep up to speed on everything that we're doing outside of Facebook, just remember we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're soon going to be on Anchor, just all over the place. All of your internet consumption needs, just type in Anthony Around Town, and odds are we're probably going to pop up. So just be on the lookout for us there. If you see us on Instagram, just give us a like. If you see us on YouTube, just make sure you subscribe. That would be great. If you're watching this on Facebook and haven't already liked the Anthony Around Town Facebook page, why not? Just click right there. If you need to email me, we kind of already discussed this, but just in case, let me throw out my email one more time, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. That's anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. And then don't forget, if you'd like to stay up to date on all the content that we produce throughout the week, and you don't want to miss anything, then you could just sign up to be a part of the Anthony Around Town newsletter, which comes out every single Monday with links to all of our content. Yep, just check the live stream chat. I think we're all caught up. So we did it. We did it. The first stream of 2020 from the new Anthony Around Town studio space is complete. It was pretty good. It's a good way to kick off the year. I'm feeling strong, guys. I'm feeling strong. Hopefully, I'll get rid of this cough though, by 2034. So we'll just hope for that. So, anyways, thank you so much for joining us on this live show. We appreciate it. Until next time, I'm Anthony Crosby. I'm using a new software, so I got to see how to end this video. Let's try that again. So, thank you so much for joining us on this Anthony Around Town video. Until next time, I'm Anthony Crosby. We'll see you around, Elko.